The biggest march against anti-Semitism is due on Sunday, and this will almost certainly be the biggest march since 1936, when a similar demonstration led to the Battle of Cable Street against Oswald Mosley's British Union of Fascists. And the BBC have instructed its journalists that they're not allowed to join the march to demonstrate against a rise in anti-Semitism, and that this is on a par with the marches that have been going on in defense of Palestine, in support of Palestinian suffering, and the impartiality guidelines of the BBC are being debated again and again. Is Gary Lineker crossing the line in supporting Owen Jones? And Owen Jones, of course, is advancing quite pronounced ideas that Israel is guilty of genocide. I think there is room for discussion about the genocidal aspect of the Likud government's policy, and the expressions, particularly by Netanyahu and the President Herzog. But I don't think in practice the term should be used. It has to be used because it's being discussed quite openly. But in the end, the term is something that one has to look at in terms of Turkey's defense against accusations of genocide by Armenia. So although the Armenian event was utterly horrendous and heinous and deeply wrong, for it to be judged a genocide, it would have to you would have to show a link between government intent and military practice and the appalling result. And I think that string is possible to connect with the Hamas attack against Israel. I don't think it's possible to connect it so clearly with the Israeli response, though the number of casualties, the number of dead, is significantly greater. This isn't to belittle the tragedy of the Israeli counter-attack, which I get out of all proportion, and I think what is extraordinary is, had Israel waited and had Israel looked to its growing friendships in the Arab world, a ground operation in Gaza could have been effected with the cooperation of the Muslim states and with an international body that would have been above reproach. And Netanyahu has been extraordinarily stupid. And the rhetoric about the Ammonites and the rhetoric about removing Hamas is foolish. But I don't think it goes beyond that. I don't think it's Israel's intention to kill every Palestinian that it comes across. That was, however, the stated intent of Hamas, and the butchery on the 7th of October is difficult to overlook, even given the appalling images that are nightly screened on television and that are so much more available on social media. The double standards, meanwhile, of the BBC are highlighted by people like Jonathan Gullett. Well, he would, wouldn't he? The BBC allows presenters like Gary Lineker to recklessly endorse a video that accuses Israel of textbook genocide, yet those who wish to show their solidarity with the Jewish community by standing up to anti-Semitism are being denied the chance to do so. The BBC should hang their heads in shame, and Tim Davie should resign. The problem really is the BBC should give up its obsession with consistency and its obsession with controlling the people who work for it. It should control people in the workplace, outside the workplace. They should be free to do what they want to do.